You share everything that's going on in your life and your music.
Not everything.
A lot. Hi, guys. Booker and Stryker. Very lucky to have Ben and Nick, Death Cab for Cutie. The guys are here. How are you?
Doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah, great day.
I have the best energy right now seeing you guys, because whenever we see each other, that means there's new music from your band, Death Cab for Cutie. Riptides is out. Ben, Gibbard, how does it feel this second that the world has heard it now?
It feels great. There's always this moment when we finish a record where we're proud of it, we're excited, but there's this liminal space where no one's heard it yet, and we're just talking about it. And I really don't like the talking about it and talking about how we think it's good. I'd rather have it be in the world and have people make up their minds.
Right.
Because I'm always fearful that I'm going to say like, yeah, we got this record come out, we're really happy with it, we're really stoked on it. And then it's going to come out, people are like, yeah, I heard your record. Yeah, it's sounds like you got guitars in there.
Do you ever watch people listen to your song for the first time, or is that a bad thing to do?
I've been in the car with people where I'm playing the music for the first time. Friends, but I've never watched a reaction video.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that. Although there are some of those reaction video things that I love when the songs that have been in the world for a long time, and it's an 18-year-old kid hearing "In the Air Tonight" or whatever for the first time, and they don't know the drum fills coming.
Those videos.
Love that.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay, Nick, for Riptides, how long ago did the song get completed, and how easy or difficult was it creating this tune?
I mean, it came together pretty quickly. It came out straight out of Ben's mind and hands, right over to us. And we had a pretty clear roadmap for it when we went into the studio. So, I mean, we really approached this record as direct as possible with our producer John Congleton, where we really wanted to capture each song as much of a performance as all of us in a room as we could. And so we had a good roadmap in the demo. We knew what was going to happen, and really just came down to us getting in a room, ripping through it. I don't know how many times we tracked it. Not many. Because, like I said, we kind of knew what we were doing.
So
and
do you know it before you go in as a band? Do you know the song completely, all parts, and then you're just performing it over and over and over, or are you tinkering while you're recording?
I mean, yeah, a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely knew it, and we had gone through it enough that we had almost everything mapped out. But obviously, once we're in the studio and the microscope is on, then it's tinkering with fine-tuning sounds. I mean, and we're asking ourselves kind of the final questions of like, is this part are we doing this section of the song this long, or is there an intro, or and that's where we kind of sculpt a lot of the details. But I mean, the main structure of it was in place, and then from there it's like we just play through it a few times until we feel good about what we're hearing, and then see if we have to hang anything else on it.
Was the overall process, Ben, similar to the previous, I guess, 10 or 11 records that you guys have done, or most of you in the room at the same time? How did it go for this?
Well, we kind of got away from that for a while, in I guess what would be technically now the middle period. Now, the middle period of the band is always dependent on how long the band's been together. So in 2008, the middle period was photo album, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of, I'd say everything from Codes and Keys, Kintsugi, Thank You for Today. Those records were more put together piecemeal, but the last two records we spent with John Congleton, we were in the room playing everything together. And then, if you mess up the guitar part, you go back and fix that bit. But yeah, we really wanted to make sure we had the energy in the rhythm section with Nick and Jason. And then, but again, this, as Nick was saying, Riptides, the demo, if you heard the demo, you can see how they're very relatable. There's not that much difference between the two as far as structure and how the songs kind of unfold.
The fans know you're a very introspective guy, and you share everything that's going on in your life and your music.
Not everything.
A lot. It's very relatable. Is that fair to say?
Fair enough, yeah.
Is it hard to talk about the things that you sing about?
No, because I feel that if I have the impulse to write about them, other people have experienced them as well. And I think the songs that connect the best with people are the songs that have some kind of universality. Universality? Is that a song? That's a word? Let's not say that. There are universal elements to them. There's universal qualities in them that make them relatable. So I'm always writing from my perspective and trying to write something that I feel is an accurate reflection of where I am in my life at the time that I'm writing it. But I think as we're going through who knows how many songs I've written for a record, the ones that we're connecting to are the ones we feel, that what makes them good songs is that there is something in there that we feel is somewhat relatable.
I have a double question. It's back to back. When does the album come out, and how fired up are you to get back to playing some new freaking songs here, man?
I'm so excited. I mean, we're so excited to play some new songs. I mean, it's been a little less than 4 years since the last record.
Right.
And in that time, we were touring Asphalt Meadows, and we did a big tour where we were playing Transatlanticism and Pulse Service was playing Give Up.
Right.
And after that tour, we did some shows last summer where we were playing a lot of Plans for the 20th anniversary of that record, plus catalog stuff. So it feels like it's been a long time since we had new material. And we're just thrilled. I think it's June 5th. June 5th.
June
Yeah.
5th.
June
All
5th.
right.
June
Got a
5th.
date.
So
Here we go. It's a Gemini.
June 5th, exactly. So we're just excited to have some new material out, and I think that a lot of this material is going to fit really nicely against the catalog stuff. I feel it's kind of tonally and musically, it'll slot in nicely along some of that stuff. I think.
So well, obviously we know nothing about the record. How many tracks is it?
It's 11 songs.
11 songs.
We feel less is more
Yeah.
at this point in our career. I think that bands I don't think anybody really wants a triple album from us, probably. Maybe a few sickos might, but I think at the end of the day, it's more important to kind of give people, I think, this deep into our career, give people a compact statement rather than drown people in new
I
material.
like that. Were there more than 11 songs and you chopped it down to 11, or you started with 11 and finished with 11, Nick?
Well more than 11, and it's been a slow kind of whittling down. And I mean, it's funny. It's like it really, the album itself kind of emerges from, it's kind of like almost like sculpting in a weird way, where you start with this raw block of marble of, demos, big pile of demos, and that just slowly starts to get chipped away. And then I don't even remember how many songs we ended up tracking in the studio, like what the total count was.
Well,
but
I think we had 90 demos.
90
and then
demos,
we recorded 16 songs, and
Right.
then we chipped it down to 11.
Okay.
Yes.
That's more than I was expecting.
yes, yeah.
When you look at music in general, when you look at live music, we're seeing this over and over, that bands that have your tenure, that have been around for some time, it seems to be bigger. It's getting bigger and bigger, which always didn't seem to be the case. Like if you look at 90s rock, pop rock, whatever, a lot of those bands, they peaked, they still did good business, but then it kind of got dormant for a while. You're in the basket where it seems to be this trajectory is the right direction. Why do you think that is? Are you finding that more new fans are finding you and the crowds are getting bigger?
Well, I think one of the wonderful things about how we take in music these days is that I don't get the sense that young people today care when something came out. They just like what they like. And I think one of the things that's great about playlist culture is that you can put a song that came out 2 months ago next to a song that came out 30 years ago. And if both tracks, sound good together and they flow into each other, I seem to recall when we were younger, you'd pick up a record and you flip it over and be like, when did this record come out? And if it was 6 months ago, you were kind of like, oh, that's cool. And if it was like, oh, 5 years ago, ooh, that's kind of old.
Dad's music.
Kind of, yeah.
Really.
Kind of, yeah. But I just don't get a sense today that specifically young people care at all when something came out. I went and saw a couple of years ago. I saw a band named Codeine that was a really formative band for me, kind of coming up. And I'm at the show, and they're all guys in their 50s or maybe even early 60s now.
Yeah.
And the crowd was people, gray hairs like us, and some bald heads, but also some 21-year-old kids who had found this music God knows how, and they were loving it. And I remember just being really moved at how some of these younger people were connecting to this music that was important to me 30 years ago. So I think it just really comes down to, like, if it's good, it's good. If people connect, it connects. It doesn't matter if it's something that came out in 1975 or something that came out in 2025.
But I think also with your band, we've all grown with you, and we see like how serious you take the art form. Not super serious guys at times, but you're really serious about making these songs. And a lot of them, if not most of them, feel timeless. Like they could have dropped 28 years ago or in 2026 here. When you think about 30 years as Death Cab, like, is there anything that comes to your mind immediately? I would love for both of you to tackle this question.
Time moves incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. It feels like it feels like just yesterday we were 21-year-old kids making our first record in a house in Bellingham, Washington.
Yeah.
But the older I get, the longer I get to do this, the longer the fans allow us to do this. I'm just really, I'm really humbled with an enormous sense of gratitude, and I feel like there were moments along the way that I might have taken things for granted when I was burned out and didn't want to do X or Y or whatever. But now I'm just completely tickled that like anybody cares anymore. And there always seems to be this moment where I expect the record to come out or us to go on tour and just to like, wow, 50 people came. This venue holds 3,000 people,
Yeah.
I feel I'm waiting for like a Nirvana moment, where everything just kind of, everything from the past is wiped away and there's all new things. But I think that the longer we get to do this and the more I see people kind of coming and continue to come, I feel a huge responsibility to them and, to ourselves to make sure that we're making things that slot in with our catalog in a way that, so that we don't embarrass ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think I could put a finer point on it. Ben, really, well said. I feel an enormous sense of gratitude as well.
Yeah, we don't take this for granted at all.
And I think that it's serious business for us, and it's something that we take and want to protect and put a lot of our energy and heart into. And I know every day we get up and we feel lucky to be able to continue to do it. And you said everything perfectly. Yeah.
Touring is such a big part of what you do. What do you do to keep that fresh?
Thankfully it's not always touring, like the yin and yang of the band these days is we get to make records and go into the studio. We have the writing experience, which is its own different version of listening and playing and performing with one another. And then to kind of balance that off, or balance that out, it's the touring that I think kind of complements that and offsets that and brings kind of another dimension to the music and the understanding of the music. It's not often that we're recording a song and I feel like I really understand it. And then it's usually at some point in the tour, months after I've been playing the song night in and night out, suddenly I go, oh, that's what this song means to me. Or that's I see how it fits together now in a much different way. And I think, I don't know. That's about it, really. Yeah.
What's a better first day? The day the album is finished and you all look at each other and say, wow, we're finished. Or the first day when you get to play the album for the people when it's finished?
Good question.
I honestly think, to be selfish, I think it's the moment where we finish it and it's just ours.
Yeah.
Because you get to bask in your achievement without anybody having heard it, and you get to enjoy it in its most pure form. I feel the same way when I finish a song that I'm really proud of. Like for me, the thing that keeps me going as a songwriter is just that sense of accomplishment when I'm sitting in my little home studio and I just finished something I'm really proud of and no one's heard it yet. There are, of course, it feels wonderful when you put a record out and people are reacting to it and they're enjoying it. That's obviously a component of it, but really the moment where we finish it and it's just us and we're listening back and we're just like feeling it and we don't have to, it doesn't exist as a commodity yet. Mm-hmm. It's just an expression. That's the best.
Is there a day where you do listen front to back, as they would say, when you're finished with the record? Okay, let's all sit down. Is there any sort of time?
Is it like in Misery where you you
sit around
light
and
a cigarette and
let's
you're
listen to
in the
this
cabin in the
or
snow?
have a drink? Is there any of that?
It's an odd thing because through the mixing process, through the you actually listen to the album from front to back countless times.
Sure.
In that sort of almost finished phase. I don't know, but there isn't a moment where we're like, okay, done. It's mixed and let's all get in a room. Let's dim the lights. Let's put it on.
I would think it would be days later. Like I would want to live with it in your mind for a minute, walk away, then come together as guys, maybe have some dinner, some drinks. That'd be kind of fun.
What we made. Yeah.
I like just driving around listening to it when I finished it.
Yeah.
When we finished it.
Yeah.
When we finished the record, it's just really enjoyable to just drive around, listen to it, and just think about how exciting it's going to be to play these songs and kind of dream on it the same way I would dream on songs that I had written or that we had made before anybody cared who we were. It's like, to me, it's like having written, when I was working day jobs and thinking about what it'd be like if I could ever be a professional musician, listening to these little songs I made and just imagining, it'd be so cool and play them in front of people. Yeah. So I still have these daydreams about what that's going to be like all these years later.
It is Ben and Nick for our radio audience on with Booker and Stryker from Death Cab. Big day, new song out. We learned June 5th, the new album is out. I'm going to ask you something not Death Cab related. Who are your favorite 3 Seattle bands of all time as we sit here today?
Oh man, okay.
Favorite. I mean, just your favorite.
Okay, I've got 2 right away.
Okay.
Built to Spill.
Nice.
That's
And
Boise.
that's count.
Boise,
You're right.
that's
That's
Boise.
Boise. You're right. Doesn't
Boise.
count. That's fair.
Doesn't count.
Seattle
That'd be
bounds.
Seattle.
Okay.
We're talking Seattle.
Just Seattle.
City
Just
limits.
Seattle. Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
Soundgarden #1.
Okay.
Yeah. Favorite band
Without
from the
question.
'90s, without question. Every time, love Soundgarden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's so funny. Alice in Chains is one of those bands that, like, at the time, I was so steeped in. They were kind of like more metal leaning, and from Bellevue. They were on the east side, so we had I was like fully in the like Nirvana, Mudhoney, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Sub Pop stuff, and Alice in Chains kind of felt like outliers. But as time has gone on, I'm a much larger Alice in Chains fan today than I was in the '90s, and I appreciate them so much on a deeper level today than I ever did. I look back at them and think, my God, what they were doing then, I was not. I mean, yes, I cannot.
Lane and Jerry are our Eagles. Those two voices just don't.
Seriously.
No one could touch that in the 90s, if you ask me.
Yeah, the harmony.
Yeah.
I mean, just strange arrangements and things that, I mean, again, playing. It's been their music for me from that era has aged probably better than a lot of the bands that I was championing at that time. They're a funny kind of, and I'm super proud that they keep making records. I even like the recent Alice in Chains stuff. It's really great. So anyway.
There's the 2. How about for you, Ben?
Yeah.
Go
Okay,
for it.
I'm going to say Mudhoney.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say Sunny Day Real Estate.
Nice.
I'm going to cheat a bit and say Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Oh,
I'm cheat a little and say Sir Mix-a-Lot.
That's a cheat.
Okay, but bands. Okay,
but that's all right.
I'll go. I will co-sign Alice in Chains as well. So I'm throwing Mix-a-Lot there. Honestly, there are 2 people that I was the most nervous to meet in my adult life as a music fan, and one of them was Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Is that right?
Yeah. I first met Sir Mix-a-Lot. I was so psyched to meet.
Did you
Sir
put him on the
Mix-a-Lot.
glass? Did you tell him how much you love that song?
I didn't. No, I didn't do that. But for me, it's all about Posse on Broadway. It's about my hoopty. It's about
Larry is the white guy.
Yeah,
People think he's
it's
funny.
Real estate investor who makes a lot of money. Absolutely.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Come on now.
absolutely. Yeah.
Come on.
I one time I can't really say his name, but a friend of mine was in town who's kind of a well-known person, and I wouldn't have, and I was driving him down Broadway in Seattle, and I was just pointing out stuff like, there's that, and I was like, no, this is a place called Dick's. It's a hamburger spot. And as soon as I was saying that, he just busted into Dick's is the place where the cool hang out. I was like, what? How did you know this song? So Mix-a-Lot, like he looms large in Seattle's legend. And honestly, too, I think sorry, I'll talk about Mix-a-Lot, but it's like, I mean,
Let's go.
like there wasn't a lot of like My Hoopty is such an incredible song because it's like there aren't a lot of hip hop songs that are about how your car is trash, right? And just leaning into self-effacement is not a massive theme in hip hop music. It's true. So that was I love that. I love Mix. Like Mix is the best.
That's fun right there. I love those answers. I want to ask one more thing,
Well,
unless we're wrapping.
Well, go ahead.
If your life depended on it, and you had to sing a song and get every word right that isn't your own band, what's your go-to?
Okay. Here's the thing. My brain is mashed potatoes because so much of it is filled with my songs,
Right.
that I always forget lyrics to other people's songs. So as I'm going through a catalog of songs, like I'm really struggling to think of one that I know that if my life depended, I could sing all the words to. But I mean, it might have to be. Do you have one on?
I do, but it's funny because as you say that, I don't know if I can recall the lyrics just on the spot. But if you started playing the instrumental track to it, it would. It's an odd unlock that happens once the music starts. For me, oddly. And I think it's probably just because of years of karaoke training. It would be In Excess's "Need You Tonight."
Wow.
They're going in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully,
exactly. Hopefully, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like for whatever reason, that song is like ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay, I think mine would be "God Only Knows" by the Beach Boys.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I mean,
That's a great one.
it's so beautiful, and the melody. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful melodies ever written in pop music, and I also think that it's just. The melody is so beautiful, it just leads you to the next lyric.
Yeah.
It's just indelible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Listen, it was great to spend some time with you guys.
Yeah.
And we're so happy to have a new song and get to play it on the radio. Congratulations on that. New album coming. Tour is on the way. Death Cab lives. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. You guys look great and sound great. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thanks for
we
having us.
appreciate
Yeah,
you
thank
both
you.
so
Thank you
much.
both. Yeah.
You got it.